Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina's weekly business meeting. Before we get started, please join me in a brief moment of silence. Let's take roll. Here in the hearing room, we have Commissioners Caston, Powers, Vice Chair Belzer, and Chairman Williams. Joining us virtually are Commissioners Irvin, Williams, and Thomas. Attorney Butler, will you please read the agenda?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission. Good morning. The first item of business would be to set the next commission meeting. Staff would recommend April 28th at 11 a.m. for the next meeting.
The next business meeting is April 28th at 11 a.m.
Thank you, sir. With that, proceeding to the commission's utilities agenda, item number one is a request by Dominion Energy that the commission accept for filing 3 agreements having to do with the assignment and assumption of contracts for gas service.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion to offer.
Vice Chair Belzer, please go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the commission accept for filing the 3 agreements for assignment and assumption of the contracts for gas service among Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated, Lexington County Health Services District Incorporated, and Lexington Health Incorporated doing business as Lexington Medical Center. Under the assignment, Lexington County Health Services District Incorporated will assign its contracts for gas service to Lexington Health Incorporated doing business as Lexington Medical Center. Also, Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated will replace South Carolina Electric and Gas on all contracts. So move.
Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2 on the utilities agenda has to do with Defusky Island Utility Company Incorporated. Before the commission today is a consent motion of the parties for a modified briefing schedule for briefs on the latest portion of that docket.
Chairman Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Before I recognize you, Commissioner Williams, I want to note that Commissioner Belzer is recused in this matter. Is that right, Commissioner Belzer?
Mr. Chairman, that is correct. At the time that this case started, it has a 2014 docket number. I was employed by the Office of Regulatory Staff as an attorney. Therefore, to avoid any, while I was not an attorney on this case, I can't say that I didn't hear discussions or know some of the issues that were going on, and so I have recused myself from this entire docket, do not participate in any discussions or any votes on it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Williams, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission grant the consent motion of the parties for a modified briefing schedule for briefs on the reparations portion of this docket. The modified briefing schedule with new due dates is as follows. Defusky Island Utility Company brief due May 17th, 2021. ORS and POA brief due June 7th, 2021. Defusky Island Utility Company reply brief due June 17th, 2021. I further move that the parties file their respective briefs with the commission and serve the other parties in the case on or before the dates shown. I so move.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Caston?
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin?
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas?
Aye.
Commissioner Powers?
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 3 is docket number 2021-96S. Blue Granite Water Company is requesting approval of a sewer agreement with Shoals Landing LLC as related to Phase 2 of the Shoals Landing development.
I note that Commissioner Caston is recused on this matter. Is that correct, Commissioner Caston?
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission approve the sewer agreement between Blue Granite Water Company and Shoals Landing LLC for sewer service to Phase 2 of the Shoals Landing development.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
I vote aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 4 on the utilities agenda comes to us from docket number 2020-276S. We have an application from the Golf Club at Briars Creek Property Owners Association for approval of an exemption from commission jurisdiction as a homeowners association as defined in the commission regulations.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Williams.
You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I move that the commission approve the request of the Golf Club at Briars Creek Property Owners Association, the HOA, for the status of a homeowners association as defined in South Carolina Regulation 103-502.5 prior to the HOA taking ownership of the wastewater facilities and obtaining the corresponding ND permit from DHEC. The commission finds that it is reasonable, practical, and in the public interest in this circumstance to waive the requirement that the DHEC permit in the name of the HOA must be filed as part of the application for the exemption request. The Office of Regulatory Staff advised the commission that it has reviewed the request and does not object to the petition filed by the HOA for exemption from regulations as a homeowner association under Regulation 103-502.5. The HOA will be operating a sewer system and a wastewater treatment plant exclusively serving the development known as the Golf Club at Briars Creek in the unincorporated portion of Charleston County that is not served by any other sewer utility. Currently, the permitted sewer system and wastewater treatment plant are operated by the developer, Briars Creek Holdings LLC. I also move that the commission require the HOA to file with the commission written notification of the closing on the system transfer and a copy of the request to DHEC to transfer the ND permit to the HOA within 30 days of closing. I further move that the HOA is required to provide the commission a copy of the revised ND permit, which designates the HOA as the permittee within 30 days of the receipt from DHEC.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? And hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 5 is docket number 1989-9-E. Duke Energy Carolinas LLC requests an extension to file its fuel cost reports and baseload power plant performance reports for March and April 2021.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move that the commission grant the request of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for an extension until May 31st, 2021 to file its fuel cost reports and baseload power plant performance reports for March and April 2021. Duke points out that although Order 89-572 requires monthly filing of these reports, the Duke employee responsible for preparing these reports has transitioned to a new role, and the new employee responsible for these reports will not be able to have the reports ready for filing until the end of May 2021. Accordingly, Duke requests it be permitted to file the March and April reports no later than May 31st, 2021. I believe this request is reasonable, and again, I move that the commission grant the request.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 6, Mr. Chairman and other members of the commission, is docket number 2021-83E, and this is the request of Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated for determination of a facility as a like facility pursuant to the Utility Facilities Siting Act.
Is there a motion? Is there a motion for item 6?
Mr. Chairman, I'll offer a motion.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, Dominion Energy filed a request for a like facility determination for replacement of portions of its existing Jasper Yemassee 230 kV number 1 line, replacement with like facilities under South Carolina Section 5833-110 subsection 1, which is part of the Siting Act. The replacement of an existing facility with a like facility as determined by the commission does not constitute construction of a major utility facility. I know that the Office of Regulatory Staff has filed a report with the commission regarding this line. However, based on the application filed by Dominion and ORS's response, I would request that the company provide some clarification to its application. It states in the application that it plans to, quote, fold in the Jasper Yemassee KV number 1 lines into the Lakeside substation, as well as, and I think we need some clarification on that. So I would request that the company provide some clarification on what is meant by fold the line into the substation. Also, how did Dominion determine the facilities proposed are considered to be a like facility? I know that there were 2 alternatives, this being one and one other in the application, but are there other alternatives that were considered or reviewed by Dominion? I know that in discussions there was some questions about voltage support data. And then I think there were some also questions about further additional details about Dominion's temporary solution to address voltage concerns in the interim prior to construction completion. I think these clarifications are somewhat simple, so I would add that Dominion filed these clarifications with the commission within 7 business days of the date of this directive order. I so move.
Hearing Commissioner Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas?
Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir. How do you vote, Commissioner Thomas?
Yes, I'm sorry. I got knocked off for just a second.
Yes, sir. Did you hear the motion?
I did.
Okay.
And I vote yes.
Oh, thank you, sir. Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 7 on the utilities agenda is docket number 2021-46E, and this is the request of Dominion Energy to decrease its rate rider related to pension costs.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
Duke Energy is requesting to decrease its rate rider related to pension cost from .00017 to .00020 per kilowatt hour, which is a resulting reduction in the pension rider of .00003 per kilowatt hours. The Office of Regulatory Staff advised the Commission that it had completed its review of Dominion's request to decrease the pension rider. And according to ORS, since the last adjustment to the pension rider, the prior over-collected balance of pension costs has been reduced by approximately $9.3 million. Further, if the current pension rider continues, Dominion states that there will be an overcollection of pension cost of $687,177 as of April 2022. ORS has indicated it does not object to the decrease. Dominion also requests that the new factor for the rider be placed into effect without notice or hearing. I believe that that request is appropriate under Code Section 58-27-870F, and I move that that part of Dominion's request also be granted. Additionally, ORS has pointed out the continuing economic volatility and uncertainty of future market conditions due to COVID-19, the COVID-19 pandemic, and notes that the proposed decrease may result in a faster than anticipated balancing of overcollections from customers. Presently, Commission Order Number 2020-333 requires quarterly updates on this matter only through April 2021. ORS recommends that Dominion continue filing these quarterly updates through April 2022. Considering the present economic conditions, I believe that ORS's recommendation is appropriate. Therefore, I move that this commission require Dominion to continue filing quarterly updates on the pension rider through April 2022. That's my motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Vice Chair Belzer, I appreciate your detailed motion, but I just wanted to make sure that I understand you correctly in that this request is going to result in a rate decrease. Is that correct?
That's correct. It is resulting in a slight rate decrease, and will go into effect the first billing cycle of May.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, ma'am. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
Aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, item number 8 is under docket number 2020-218E. This is a complaint matter of Alex Kadajnikov versus Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC. There are two matters under this docket for consideration by the commission. One is a motion to compel, and the other is a request to hold the testimony deadlines and hearing in abeyance.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move the commission grant the motion to compel with regard to Duke Energy's Carolinas first discovery request and hold in abeyance a ruling on whether to compel answers to the second discovery request at this time, that being premature. With regard to the first discovery request, the response by the complainant related to invoking the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution is not valid, since the information requested by Duke cannot lead to criminal liability on the part of the complainant. The complainant will have 15 days from the date of the order in this matter to respond to the first Duke discovery request under my motion. I further move that the complainant does not furnish information requested in the first discovery request, that the commission consider dismissal of the complaint and/or additional relief. It is duly noted that the company has stated that the complainant has until April 26th to respond to the company's second set of discovery requests. Therefore, I believe that it is premature for the commission to rule on any motion to compel related to the second request. I also move that the commission stay any further pre-filing dates for testimony exhibits and the hearing date until further notice of the commission. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 9, Mr. Chairman and other commissioners, on the utilities agenda today has to do with docket number 2019-182E. This was the generic docket to, number 1, investigate and determine the costs and benefits of the current net energy metering program, and 2, establish a methodology for calculating the value of the energy produced by customer generators.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. One second, Commissioner Irvin. I know that I was absent when this matter was heard due to military obligations and being on military leave at the time of the hearing. As such, I am recused from voting in this matter. Commissioner Irvin.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. South Carolina Act 62, adopted by the General Assembly in May of 2019, required the commission to open a generic docket to, quote, investigate and determine the costs and benefits of the current net energy metering program, and to establish a methodology for calculating the value of the energy produced by customer generators, end quote. With regard to the cost-benefit analysis of the existing net energy metering programs, I move that the commission consider the useful life expectancy of solar voltaic systems used by NEM customers to be up to 25 years in the discretion of the commission. All self-generation by a net energy metering customer generator within the billing period is to be considered equivalent to energy efficiency or demand-side management measures. With regard to cost of service implications, I move that the commission generally adopt the cost of service analysis proposed by the solar intervenors, using the theory that customer generators with a class are separated out and evaluated separately for analytical purposes only. This analysis is not creating a separate class of service for customer generators, but rather this methodology is being used for analysis purposes only. This analysis shall include the following factors: examinations of both embedded and marginal costs so as to consider the impacts of customer generators, both historic. Hold on, I'm gonna have to shut the dogs up. Go. I apologize. That's one of the joys of having pets at home. So I'll start back with my presentation here. If I can locate it. All right, now we're back. So I'll start back with the analysis to include the following factors: examinations of both embedded and marginal cost so as to consider the impacts of customer generators in both historic and future utility costs and benefits. This evaluation of theoretical customer generated classes shall include the cost of service analytical factors and requires load data, and/or a methodology consistent with an electrical utility's current load research on a statistically significant sample of customer generators. Where this is not currently possible, it is reasonable to estimate the hourly usage profile of a customer generator using historic usage profiles and estimating the net hourly usage profile of these customers by applying the aggregate generation profile for that corresponding period recorded from all customer generators with production meters owned and controlled by the regulated electrical utility. The load of customer generators should be evaluated within the cost of service and analysis on the basis of net hourly consumption from the electric grid. For purposes of the customer generator cost of service study, a customer that is a net exporter of electricity during an hour has a negative net hourly consumption. That individual customer generator's exports in that hour should be recorded as a negative number and not merely recorded as zero net consumption. This approach should also be followed to determine the aggregate hourly net load profile of all customer generators when in a class of service. The use of the same commission-approved cost of service allocators is including methods of allocating costs to the theoretical customer generator classes on which effective rates are based at the time of evaluation, as well as the use of a test year that is more recent than the test year relied upon in the utility's most recent rate case. Requests to use allocators differing from the most recent commission-approved cost of service allocators must be supported by substantial justification. Behind the meter consumption, in other words, self-consumption, should be valued using the same methodology as energy efficiency or demand-side management programs. With regard to the value of distributed energy generation according to the Act 62 methodology approved in Commission Order number 2015-194, I move that the value stack be retained with the following modifications. That the stack be amended to reflect up to a 25-year expected lifespan for solar PV. That avoided line losses be calculated on a marginal basis considering the daylight hours only. That utility integration costs, which are determined in the avoided cost proceedings, should only be applied to exported power because behind the meter consumption is to be viewed the same as energy efficiency, and that integrated costs for consumer-sided DER should focus more on distribution system related impacts. Electric utilities shall track incremental interconnection costs associated with customer generated interconnections not covered by an interconnection application fee. Customer generators are not currently utilized to provide ancillary services. Electric utilities are hereby required to evaluate the creation of programs to leverage DER to provide ancillary services, especially as technology development improves and leads to energy storage. Inclusion of a methodology to quantify long-run impacts of aggregate customer generators on avoided transmission and distribution cost. Thus, the electric utilities shall collect data with sufficient granularity to provide the Commission with quantitative analysis of avoided transmission and distribution cost. If the electric utility engaged in financial hedging activities to hedge against rising fuel costs, then the electric utility shall keep sufficient data to determine the prudency of those costs. If state or federal laws impose regulatory burdens on electric utilities going forward, then electric utilities shall provide the Commission with the quantifiable cost of complying with those regulations that limit carbon dioxide and methane emissions, sometimes referred to as greenhouse gas emissions, so that customer generators can be credited with an appropriate benefit and meeting those emission standards. With regard to the direct and indirect economic impacts that benefit the utility service area in South Carolina, I move that the commission find that it is unable to adequately quantify the direct economic benefits from the record currently before us. However, we do recognize there are certain indirect benefits like job creation, infrastructure investments, and growth in the state's economy that do exist. These are difficult to quantify, however. Given the existing record going forward, I move that the commission adopt witness Dr. Wright's analysis of direct and indirect beneficial economic impacts for all NEM future proceedings. Act 62 instructed the commission to consider best practices from other jurisdictions southeast in considering NEM distributed generation.
Commissioner Irvin, I
back
think
with
you
you.
may be muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll continue. In considering DEM distributed generation on non-solar customers, as we continue to build on the success of rooftop solar in South Carolina, while considering the impact of net energy metering policies on ratepayers and regulated utilities. While few southeastern states have recently dealt with these issues, a number of jurisdictions around the United States have already done so or are in the process of doing so. Majority of jurisdictions that have dealt with these issues have concluded that the utilization of NEM for solar distributed generation offer net benefits to the electric system as a whole, and those include non-solar customers. Many have found that the benefits outweigh the cost. The growth of rooftop solar has been found in most jurisdictions to reduce the overall cost to all utility customers. Solar distributed generation also reduces demand for electricity from the electric utility and provides the power to the grid when the solar systems generate more power than is used at a residential or commercial site. This surplus electricity is generated at or near summer peak times when the cost to the utility of procuring additional power is most expensive. Because locational factors can affect solar valuations, access to location-specific utility data should be made available to stakeholders and the commission as part of the development of any new successor tariff mechanisms. These factors all fit under the Act 62 category of other relevant data that the commission deems appropriate in its implementation of Act 62. The General Assembly, through Act 62, requires the commission to consider all the costs and all the benefits associated with renewable energy and to appropriately calculate those costs and benefits. This commission finds that to fulfill a General Assembly statutory directive, the commission must better define certain benefits and costs, both the components and the methodology for determining those costs, whether they be economic, health, or other such benefits. So as going forward, we will endeavor to work and create better valuations and values to capture both the cost and benefits as required by Act 62. Mr. Chairman, that's the motion, and I so move.
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Caston.
Before a vote is taken on the proposed motion, I'd like to offer a motion to carry this item over for consideration at the next commission business meeting.
Commissioner Caston has offered a substitute motion. We'll give that motion priority over the original motion. If the substitute motion fails, we'll take up the original motion. Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion to carry over this item.
Mr. Chairman, I move to table Commissioner Cass's motion to carry over the matter. This relates to other work before the commission, including the next item on our agenda. It's all interrelated, and delays would, I think, be inappropriate.
All right, I'm going to rely on my vice chair and my lawyers. We've had a motion, substitute motion, and a motion to table made by Commissioner Irvin. I'm being advised that the motion to table takes priority. All right, so the priority motion now is the motion to table. Hearing Commissioner Irvin's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing Commissioner Irvin's motion to table, is there any discussion? Let me be even clearer. Hearing Commissioner Irvin's motion to table Commissioner Caston's motion to carry this matter over, is there any discussion? Commissioner Caston?
Well, I believe there is great possibility of moving forward with this. With some minor adjustments, perhaps. I do not concur that it's critical that this motion be adopted or voted on now due to the next agenda item on the fuel case. Because as I understand it, that can be modified next year in 6 months independently of this particular item. So what I'm suggesting or offering to the commission is I think a better, more positive path forward that I prefer, but I'm just one vote on this commission.
Mr. Chairman, may I respond briefly?
Yes, you may, sir. Please proceed.
Thank you. This generic docket, of course, was mandated by the General Assembly, and for the purpose of providing an appropriate methodology to consider successor tariffs, which we've already heard testimony and evidence about. In fact, orders are due soon on the Dominion tariff request. And we also have on our agenda the Duke proposed settlement, which also requires application of the methodology to the extent that any issues are remaining not covered by the settlement. This is all more a reason that in order to get through our workload on all these dockets, which are all interrelated, not to mention the fact that they're also interrelated with the IRPs that we have outstanding. As you know, we have the Dominion IRP that's being amended, and then we have the Duke IRPs we're starting to take up next week. There's no way we can take up those dockets without at first establishing a methodology. The Duke hearing starts Monday, and the Dominion hearing's already been held. So that those matters can be drawn to conclusion as required by law, we don't need to delay this matter. We need to vote it up or down and go forward with our work on these other dockets. So I'd encourage the commissioners to please vote to table the amendment that Commissioner Caston has offered to carry the matter over.
All right, we'll vote on Commissioner Irvin's motion to table Commissioner Caston's motion
Chairman.
to carry over. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank
You have the floor, sir.
Thank you. I generally agree with what Commissioner Irvin just said, but I also agree with Commissioner Caston. And there is no question in my mind that this is a very important topic and that we get it right. And I would just say that I would like for us to take just a little bit more time, make sure we get it right. And that's just my thought. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Caston, did you want to be recognized?
Well, to be honest, I just wanted to make sure, if we vote to table, I want to make sure I get it correctly. Yes means table, no means not to table.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So,
Chairman Williams?
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you. And to follow up on that, and a vote to not table means we would have the vote about
Carrying the item over.
the item. Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So the motion is, the motion you all are about to vote on, because I am recused, is whether or not to table Commissioner Caston's motion to carry over item 9. All right? So we've had discussion. If there's no further discussion, we'll start voting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
No?
Vice Chair Belzer.
While I like to support Commissioner's request for additional time, this has been pending for quite some time. A motion has been made, therefore I vote yes to table.
Commissioner Caston.
No.
Commissioner Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Thomas.
No, I'm sorry, I was muted. No.
Commissioner Powers.
Yes.
All right, so we got a 3-3 split. The motion fails. The motion to table fails. Now we'll take up the motion to carry over item 9. Is there any discussion on the motion to carry over item 9?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a friendly amendment to to Commissioner Caston's motion to carry the matter over. I'd like to suggest if he would agree to carry the matter over for 1 week, then I will, so that we can work out or iron out any differences, I would agree to carry the matter over for 1 week only. Would you accept that, Commissioner Caston?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Thank you. And I'm prepared to vote in favor of carrying the matter over for 1 week.
All right, the motion is to carry item 9 over for 1 week, which means we would be back at it again the next commission meeting. That's April 28th, 11 a.m. This item would appear on our agenda, our next business meeting, which is next Wednesday, April 28th at 11 a.m. Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion and hearing discussion, is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll vote starting with District 1. Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston.
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin.
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas.
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The motion carries. Item 9 will be carried over until April 28th, 2021.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, item 10 on the utilities agenda is docket number 2021-2-E. This is the annual review of base rates for fuel costs for Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Thomas.
Commissioner Thomas, you have the floor, sir.
I move that the commission find as follows: that the fuel purchasing practices and policies, power plant operations, fuel inventory management, and other matters associated with South Carolina Code Annotated 58-27-865 are reasonable and prudent for the review period. Also, that the stipulation entered by DESC, ORS, and SCEUC is reasonable under South Carolina Code Annotated Section 58-27-865, and commission orders in effect at the time of the hearing. In moving adoption of the stipulation, I recognize that the NEM valuation methodology in effect is the methodology established in Commission Order Number 2015-194. However, once a final order in docket 2019-182E is issued, that valuation methodology may change. If the final order in docket 2019-182E should change the inputs and/or methodology, I move that Dominion recalculate the DER incentive and other components which may change as a result of that final order. Dominion is instructed to provide the recalculations to the parties and file with the commission, and at that time, the parties may propose next steps to account for any differences. Also, that Dominion's DER incremental cost components by class properly allocate Dominion's DER program increment costs are reasonable, prudent, and approved, and shall be effective with the first billing cycle of May 2021. These cost components are $1 per month for residential, $6.15 per month for small and medium general service, $100 per month for large general service. Also, the Dominion shall set its base fuel components, environmental and avoided capacity cost components, DER avoided cost components consistent with the factors agreed to in the stipulation. Based on the stipulation, the total fuel costs are effective for bills rendered on and after the first billing cycle of May 2021 and are as follows: 2.53 cents per kilowatt hour for residential, 2.508 cents per kilowatt hour for small general service, 2.488 cents per kilowatt hour for medium general service, 2.464 cents per kilowatt hour for large general service, 2.413 cents per kilowatt hour for lighting. The result of these fuel factors is an increase of approximately $1.59 per month on rate 8 residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours per month. I also move that the commission approve DESC's proposal to include certain labor costs regarding nuclear fuel procurement, nuclear core design, safety analysis, and fabrication surveillance, and final receipt inspection in the base fuel component, beginning with the reporting period that started January the 1st, 2021. Further, Dominion is directed to make necessary adjustments to remove these labor costs from base rates and shall report on these adjustments in its pending rate case in docket number 2020-125E. Finally, I move that Dominion's rider to residential rates and time of use demand rate 28 net metering for renewable energy facilities may be eliminated because it terminated on December 31st of 2020, and customers previously taking service under that rider have transitioned to other rate schedules. So moved.
Hearing Commissioner Thomas's motion, is there any discussion? I note that I'm recused from this matter as I was on military leave at the time of the hearing. If there's no discussion, we will vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Ayes have it, the motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That does complete today's utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the transportation agenda. Item number 1 is from docket numbers 2016-374T and 2021-72T, and is a request to suspend the Class C non-emergency certificate.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Vice Chair Belzer.
I move that the commission grant the request of True Care Health Services Incorporated doing business as True Care Mobility to suspend Class C non-emergency certificate number 9213 until April 12, 2022.
Hearing Vice Chair Belzer's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 2 on the transportation agenda comes to us from docket number 2021-32T. This is a request of FCF Moving and Storage, LLC, DBA Good Greek Moving and Storage to amend its tariff.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams.
Commissioner Caston.
I move that the commission grant the application of FCF Moving and Storage LLC, doing business as Good Creek Moving and Storage, to amend its tariff.
Hearing Commissioner Caston's motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers.
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item number 3 on the transportation agenda is a request for reconsideration, rehearing or reconsideration of a commission directive by R&M Charlotte LLC, DBA 2 Men in a Truck of Charlotte.
Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the commission deny R&M Charlotte LLC doing business as 2 Men in a Truck of Charlotte's petition for rehearing or reconsideration of the commission's directive denying the request to implement a maximum variable type rate tariff. This commission ruled that such a tariff may not prevent customer discrimination. I still believe that a maximum variable type rate tariff could still be offered at the whim of a carrier, resulting in different rates for similar services. As pointed out by counsel for the carrier, if the commission granted a maximum variable type rate tariff for this company, it would be the first household goods moving company regulated by this commission to operate under this maximum rate structure. Although the company stated it does not object to any other carrier operating in a similar way, I do not think it is appropriate policy to approve such a deviation from structured tariffs as a result of one company's request. I believe that the commission would need to study the proposal in depth, since other companies would likely ask for a similar rate structure. In short, I think that the request for such a drastic change in a transportation rate structure is premature, especially coming from one company. I do believe that the matter of a maximum variable type rate tariff would be appropriate for study in the upcoming review of the Commission's transportation regulations under docket number 2020-247-A, and I move that this be done. However, again, I move that the petition for rehearing and reconsideration in this matter be denied.
Thank you, Commissioner Powers. Hearing Commissioner Powers' motion, is there any discussion? Here.
Mr. Chairman, I agree with Commissioner Powers that this may be studied in the transportation regulations review that's being conducted. This party and other parties could also move for a docket to address this type of tariff, so that it would be noticed and you could hear from a wide variety. But I certainly agree with Commissioner Powers that for one carrier to create such a change or ask for such a change, that it's just not good policy to proceed in that manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Belzer. If there are no further discussion, we'll move to a vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 4 comes to the commission under docket number 2020-247A, and staff presents for commission consideration a review of the application and requirements for the approval of Class E household goods certificates under South Carolina Code Annotated Regs 103-133-1.
Is there a motion?
Chairman Williams, this is Commissioner Williams.
You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Chairman Williams. I move that the commission re-examine the present application for Class E Household Goods Authority, as well as the fit, willing, and able requirements found in Regulation 103-133, 1 for Household Goods Movers Authority, specifically as to whether the commission should consider a past criminal record and/or past driving record of the applicant as part of the determination as to whether the applicant should be granted a certificate of public convenience and necessity. These matters may be studied as a part of the commission's ongoing, I move that these matters be studied as a part of the commission's ongoing general review of the commission transportation regulations.
Hearing Commissioner Williams' motion, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote, starting with District 1, Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belzer,
I vote aye.
Commissioner Caston,
Aye.
Commissioner Irvin,
Aye.
Commissioner Thomas,
Aye.
Commissioner Powers,
Aye.
Chairman Williams votes aye. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, other members of the commission, that does complete the transportation agenda as well as both agendas with business before the commission this morning.
Thank you, sir. We are adjourned.